Where's Beaker? That's it. Get him. Get him. Good. Sorry about that, folks.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, Grown Kid Talk Show. Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.
Alright, so we're back, and I want to do this video while it's fresh in my mind and yours. The Video Game Awards was last night, and it was a great show. I think the Game Awards does deserve a round of applause. Insert that applause. Alright, so I'm going to talk to you as if you watched the show. So yeah, spoilers if you didn't watch the full show. I suggest you do it. I'm gonna throw clips in here from things on the show that I want to talk about here. I'm not gonna go through every category. I'm not gonna go through the predictions of of what I made. I was gonna do like all of that stuff and go over the trailers and everything, but I realized, why go over that stuff? I'm sure you've already seen a lot of the trailers. And it's not so much about comparisons of what I said last time on the video about the Video Game Awards show. This is about actually the show itself and my thoughts. So first, I kind of want to talk about the show as a whole. I really feel like we need to cut out Microsoft owner, Nintendo owners, any other owners of the consoles that these games are on from speaking at these events. It's getting a little too sales pitchy for me, especially with the Xbox promo they did there. I don't really need these guys to give out awards, because that's just an excuse for them to make their sales pitch as per the usual. And Reggie said something super funny. I thought he did the indie games. He was the announcer for that indie games, and it's hysterical to think that Nintendo and indie games go together in any way. I just think that's funny. But overall, as a show, I want to see less sales pitching. And more of a focus on the categories and the gaming and hearing from the devs. I like the music. I like the show aspect of it all. I just want to cut out some of this product placement, so to speak, from these huge companies. That guy, I don't even know his name, the guy who talks for Xbox. I don't play Xbox. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I don't want to see any of them up there really, trying to sell the world on video games, because video games is, and they said at this show, the top media art form. It's not even like a question of the sales that video games do compared to all other art forms. So we're here, you know what I'm saying? The gamers are here, and I don't need you to sell me. And that goes into the trailers and premieres. While I very much like the trailers and premieres and exclusives, I like the format of maybe putting them all at the start of the show, like they're separate from the show, almost like a preamble, like they did, and not scatter them throughout. I think just throwing the trailers out there that you want to show and really make this about the games would do more for me, and get it to more of an upscale level that I know they want it to be on, and it will eventually get there. This will eventually be like the Grammys. It's 5 years running. I just don't want to see Reggie up there for Nintendo, who's not even working for Nintendo anymore. He's just an ambassador. Be out there talking about that. I don't want to hear that. They never say anything I really want to hear. I want to hear about the games that came out this year that we all get to look back on and vote on our favorites and the winners of the categories. That's kind of what I want to say about the show. I want you to let me know what you thought of the show itself. I thought the show itself was great. I love the set pieces for the music. I like seeing so many people up there. Steph Curry gave out an award. That was dope. Shouts out. That's the kind of thing we need. Those kind of figures to give out the awards. I don't need to hear from the owner of Xbox or the spokesman. I don't want to hear from them. But back in line with that, so Steph Curry did their thing, and this I thought was a great tie-in here, because you can't not the successes of sports games like basketball, NBA 2K, whatever. The big deal here, I thought, for gaming as a whole, excluding Death Stranding as what it did and is doing for gaming as a whole, was the Fast and the Furious game. Now, Fast and the Furious is a super long franchise, and the franchise itself is whatever, you know, either a fan or you're not. But the fact that they're transitioning to video games, I thought was kind of perfect for that franchise. Not that they've not transferred before. I'm just saying they seem to be pushing almost as if this is a mainline story like Star Wars would do in terms of video games. So that's a huge big push, because Star Wars is, yes, widely popular, but it's still associated with like nerddom, whereas Fast and the Furious is not associated with that really at all. I mean, yeah, if you want to talk about car heads, but it's not necessarily associated with gaming culture as so much as like a Star Wars would be in terms of what you're doing in the game. So I thought that was a really poignant point to make, to show that the media of video games is just growing so big. So we talked about the show itself a little bit, about how I want to see less sales pitch and just more categories about the games. I told you I liked the announcers, you know, Steph Curry, Vin Diesel. I like the production of it, the show. It's all great. So I'm not trying to knock that. I really want to give it genuine praise right now. Even though I am in obvious total disagreement with your game of the year, it's the most important category. I want to talk about it just right now. I'm going to say it again. You saw it in the intro, because I can't hold it in anymore. There's no way in the world that Sekiro is a better game than Death Stranding. Sekiro's arguably not even better than this game right here, Kingdom Hearts 3. Where was this the whole show? Where was Kingdom Hearts there? Final Fantasy 14 got like an honorable mention. They kind of talked about Final Fantasy 14. I'm just not remembering if they got an award. I don't think so, and I kind of watched it twice. It was a long, you know, watch for me to then make this video to have things to talk about. But one of my fears came true from my previous video. Best ongoing game, Fortnite won. Now, I have to totally disagree again with that. I don't think Fortnite should A, win every year since it's come out, and B, I don't think it's really innovating and doing anything new with their games. It's just kind of not cool to discredit all MMOs that are really putting that effort forth to bring you real content that lasts you as the player of their games, and just to have Fortnite win because it's just every day, you know, someone's playing Fortnite. It's just not. It's shitty. It is what it is. So let's keep moving on. Voice acting. Now, I talked about this, and I definitely am now even 100% reassured that the category of best supporting actor or actress in a video game needs to be a category, because Mads Mikkelsen won for voice. However, he shouldn't have won. Norman Reedus should have won, obviously. That was a no-brainer to me, but I like that someone on the Death Stranding team at least got the award, because they were quite honestly shotted this year. If you look at last year's, and I did take some screenshots of some things, you know, God of War and Red Dead won a lot, multiple categories. This year I realized that they definitely wanted to share that love. Death Stranding had a little music piece. It had been the song I would have picked. There's no doubt about that, don't get me wrong. However, I still liked the overall aesthetic of it. Very much so. It was very much like the Last of Us 2 showcase they did. I liked that kind of idea for the show. And they consistently do that, so I do like that. It's just strange to me that you would slight Kojima so hard and give them best game direction. It's just so... It's so... Let me put it this way. If you're a developer, you looked towards Kojima and what he did in this game to implement new ideas in your own. Forget what he did with the art direction, which some other game won for art direction. So after that was the Game of the Year award, and Sekiro wins of all games. Now, I can't express to you if you didn't watch the Video Game Awards show, but if you didn't play Sekiro, I can talk to you about that. Sekiro is nothing but a Dark Souls clone.
Yo, it's the Grown Kid Talk Show.